Hello everyone, welcome to Ambi Marie Knits. My name is Amber, and this is episode 19. I may have said that last week, but for reals, this is episode 19. It is Friday, September 1st, yay. So, I know it's not officially fall, but we're going to pretend it is. I have a couple tiny finished objects for you, some knitting and some crochet today. First off, my hair. Dyed it yesterday, went to my sister's, me, her, and my niece had a little hair dyeing party, and I like it. Said it was red violet. Can't really see the violet in it, but at the same time it's not red, so I like it. Okay, let's go ahead, jump into the knitting. The first finished object I do have is Robert. Robert, yep, his hat fell off. Robert is my little skeleton friend. And I made him a sweater. Pattern is by my friend Nicole. I just did it with fingering weight. Okay, there we go. So, made him a little sweater. Yarn is Lollipop Yarns in the colorway Boo. So he's got a little sweater. Then I decided he needed a hat. And that's just a little tiny hat. Keep him warm. He's went on some trips. Went to work with me, got to play outside. And yeah, definitely fun little pattern, make him festive. Maybe he'll get a Christmas sweater, I don't know. For now, I like him just the way he is. So that's the first finished object. My second finished object I actually don't have with me because I already gifted it. But I made a marble fidget square by Shanna Cohen. And I made one, gave it to a friend at work, and now I have to make more. It's really cool though because it's a double knitted, just a little square. It's like this big. I'll put a picture in right here. But it's just like this big, but it's got a marble in it. And then you just fidget the marble around and it's entertaining. I don't know. I'm planning on making some more since I found a whole bunch of marbles. So that's cool. Sorry about my fingers. They are not the correct colors because somebody forgot to wear gloves while dyeing yarn. I'll talk about that more in a bit. But that's my finished objects. Next up, we're going to go into whips. So I do have a few. I even got some I haven't worked on in a long time. First thing we're going to talk about, my Sonnen sweater. I wish it was a sweater. Sonnen shawl. There we go. This is by Knit Graffiti. Okay, so I am actually close to finishing this. I think I can do maybe like 2 more repeats before I have to start the border. But you can see I switched the colors. This yarn, it's in a Stitching Plaza bag. This yarn is Hedgehog Fibers, Gossip for the pink, Zephyr for this one. And I love it. I mean, everybody knows I love my brioche. But this has been really fun. The switching the colors or syncopated brioche is enough to keep it interesting, but not have to like stare at a chart or anything like that. Here's the other side. Okay, so that's my first whip. I've been trying to do about a repeat a day on it. Now that's getting bigger. It's a little bit harder to do. It takes a little bit longer, but we're getting close. So that's my first whip. The next one I want to talk about is, this is actually a test knit. It's the Essential Beanie. And this one's coming along. Especially now that I guess, there we go. Okay. I had stitch markers on it, no I don't. Or stitch stoppers. This test knit is in a bag by Ginger Snap Fibers. It was a prototype she tried out. I like it. It's cute. It's fun. I am holding 2 strands of yarn together. Some random mohair, cool pink color. This is A Girl in Her Wool fingering. And I'm this far in the hat. I love that when you do mohair and another yarn, it blends them together so nicely. Like it brightens up this, but it tones down the pink to make this color. I think I've got like 3 or 4 more inches before I start the crown. So I'm getting there. I'll be finished by next week. I like it so far. Like the pattern's really cool. It won't come out, I think, until the end of the month. I'll let y'all know. Okay, so that's that whip. next one. Okay, so I've had a problem with socks the past couple weeks. Finally think I found something that's going to stick. I started a pair of shorties with the Hay Bales yarn. It's great yarn, but I just sent a pair of socks out of them. Lost steam. Frogged it. I'll try that again later. So then I decided some other yarn. I found some Hey, You're a Crazy Witch. Some old school, pretty twisted yarns. Started to make a sock out of that. That didn't work, but I did make something with it, and I'll show you that here in a few. So then I finally decided to make some socks for somebody at work, and I grabbed this. They're Boy Scout, or used to be, so some sturdy socks for them. So this yarn is Yarns of Italy. Somebody near me, I think I bought it for like $1 a ball. I don't know. And it's probably similar to like a Regia. It's soft, but it's sturdy as far as that goes. I did 64 stitches, 2x2 rib. Now I'm doing a 3x1 rib. And I'm going to do a shadow wrap heel, but I'm going to do some solid, about 1 inch solid before I start the heel. Size 1 magic loop. That's coming along quite nicely. And credits for us, a Power Rangers fan, so Faded Threads. Had a cool Power Rangers bag. Love it. Let's see. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I did with that Hey, You're a Crazy Witch bag made by me. I crocheted some things. So I am randomly working on a granny square blanket. Who knows when it'll get done. Hopefully this decade. A bunch of random squares. So I made 2 squares this week. This was 2 strands held together of Hey, You're a Crazy Witch, and I love it. That just turned out so bright, so colorful, so Halloween, but I'm very happy with it. And then also Pretty Twisted Yarns. I held together 2 strands from the We're Gonna Need a Bigger Boat sock set. This is sparkly. See sparkle? And just held 2 strands together, the variegated and then a blue. So 2 more granny squares. Sometimes it'll be too close to bedtime to want to actually like work on a project, but I still want to make something. So I just make a granny square or 2, and it still counts. Next up, something I've not worked on in forever or shown in a while. This is in a float tote. It's a crochet pattern by Nitty Natty. Oh, my needles are sticking through. This is the Garter Squish by Stephen West. I am using 4 strands of Sport Weight Knit Picks Brava. This one is in the color Current. Eventually, I have a whole bunch of Knit Picks Brava and Sport Weight. Like, one of their big summer sales, I bought way too much, like $1 a ball. And I haven't ever used it. So I decided it's going to become a blanket. I'll hold 4 strands together. Just try and get it taken care of as fast as possible. And then I hardly ever work on it. I am using size 15. And this is how far it is. I did a row on it yesterday. Updated a picture for the Ravelry page. So it's so squishy. Like, I don't know if you can see, it's so thick. I almost sleep on this as like a pad or something, just to make it softer. So, slowly, I think I might try and actively do like a row a day on this or something. Sorry about the clanging. And see if I can at least get this color finished up. Speaking of this color, the next thing I want to talk about is my Miss Arena top by Caitlin Hunter. Didn't get a lot of it done on this week, but I got it refrogged, I got it fixed, and I'd say it's looking pretty good. I think I got that much done, I think, and hold that thought. Uh-oh. And all better. Okay, so there's the color work. There's the Ladderback jacquard. And is that a fly? I'm sorry, but I think I have a fly in my house. It will go away when we're done recording, I promise. I don't use a cable needle. Unless there's like a lot of stitches, like the really big cables. But just for a 4-stitch one, I just don't use one. There's nothing wrong with using one. If they work for you, great. It's too much to deal with at one time for me. But that makes doing the ladderback, this little piece right here, very interesting. So I filmed, I don't necessarily want to call it a tutorial, but it is how I did it. If you want to actually know how to do the ladderback jacquard, Aquila, A Lefty Nerd Podcast has a great tutorial for that. But I am going to go ahead and plug in exactly what I did to make this work without a cable needle. Okay, I'm going to show you how I do the cable without a cable needle and the ladderback jacquard continental. We're going to start with purling this stitch. Then we're going to slip all of our stitches onto the right needle. Now we're going to rearrange them. Stick the left needle under here, pick up the front leg, carefully slide that out. Pop that to the back, pick up those two, pick that up. Yeah, it twisted, it's just fine. Put them back on. From here, we've got them all on there in the right order for the cable. We're gonna knit the cable, bring the main color to the front. We're gonna knit the ladderback. There we go. And then we're gonna knit, purl our last stitch. And that long one, you should even out with blocking, but that is how, and my ladderback's right there, as it should be. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's slow. I'm not in a hurry to wear it. Like, this will be a very nice fall piece, so I've got a little bit of time, but you can actually see there's flower there now. So I like that a lot. And that is all of my whips that I have. Future cast-ons, actually I have some of those. Kind of got my sock mojo going on. I don't know, I'm like planning some more socks. So this is gonna be a pair of socks. This is a one of a kind, or sorry, unplugged, let's turn this the right way. Pretty Twisted Yarns. This is actually a skein that I dyed. And this style of dyeing is fun because you actually dye it in skein, one color, let it cool off, take it out, retwist it, dye it again, and you just keep doing that till you get what you like. And I like it. Speaking of dyeing yarn, I have been doing that actually all day for two more future projects. One is I'm going to make the stripe hype sweater for one of my friends. And I dyed up, the main color is going to be the just bare yarn, and then I dyed up the colors for that. And I also, I think, dyed up my colors for Stephen West's MCAL for this year, the Geo Gradient. So I did 4 different shades of pink. I was really trying to find something I just had. I had some color options, but they weren't my colors. I mean, greens are okay, yellows are okay, but they're not me. I love my pink, especially the brighter the better. So I've got a fade. Still drying. I'm going to pop a video at the end of what I've done there. Speaking of other things I've done, I think that's all the active knitting content that I have, but I got to meet a knitting celebrity. So I am part of the Love and Stitches membership, and last weekend Natalie, or Nitty Natty, was in town. And I got to go out to dinner with her and her husband, Kent, and I got to meet Toaster, and I got to pet him. So, Caffeinated Craft Mama, I'll link her below. Me and her both went to a local Oriental restaurant, because Springfield Cashew Chicken, got to try it if you're down here. And we got to just hang out for a little while. We got to see the van they've been traveling in, pet Toaster. That part was awesome. And they're both really, really nice. They're really tired. They've been traveling a lot. So just really nice experience. Very, very glad we got to do that. Other life stuff. Gardens. I'm still getting cherry tomatoes. Like, I think I picked my last cucumber today. The cucumber plant's pretty much dead. I went to the grocery store this morning and I kind of wanted to buy some mums because they're starting to come out and they're beautiful and I could just plant those where the other stuff was. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Editing Amber here, I forgot to talk about books, and that was actually a very important part of the past week. I finished Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I understand why it's so popular right now. It's really, really good. It's really well written. The story is really intriguing, so definitely recommend reading that if you haven't already. And the other interesting thing, so A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I read that, I don't know, last year. It's been a while. And it was okay, but I didn't really understand what all the hype was over it. But people will tell you, first book's slow. When you get to the second one, story picks up, it gets better. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. Well, I needed something to read, so I'm like, fine, why not? I went ahead and started the second book, which is A Court of Mist and Fury. And people were right. It is really good. It definitely does pick up. It gets more interesting. There's some plot twists and just, yeah, I'm very, very happy that I did read it. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and continue to finish the whole series. But that is everything that I have for today. I think this one actually might be a little bit longer than normal. Fingers crossed. Do want to thank everybody for watching. I really do appreciate you. Like, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see y'all next weekend.